Alrighty. Hi, everyone. Hope you're having a wonderful day. Today, I'm going to have a pretty short live stream talking about the recent events in Taiwan and particularly about the corruption scandals within the pro-China parties, within the Kuomintang party, the KMT, and more ambiguous one, but still pretty much pro-China party, which is called the Taiwan's People's Party. And because that's a pretty big news in Taiwan, and I also would like to give you my perspective on the recent event in the European Union and in Poland, which is going on between Poland and China and Belarus also. So I have just 30 minutes, so we have to do it pretty quickly. So let's be efficient. So right now I'm streaming I'm streaming onto two platforms. One is YouTube and the other one is my Twitter. So I have an English channel to all of those who is watching this on Twitter. It is called Freedom is Not Free. It's a YouTube channel, and I do encourage you to go and watch this stream on my YouTube channel because this channel is not still monetized, and I hope to also have an English channel which is monetized and not only my Mandarin channel. So encouraging you to do that. Alrighty, so let's go. And 1, 2, 3, 4. So one day, two big corruption scandals and two verdicts from the courts in Taiwan. Number one, let's talk about this guy, Yan Kuan-hen. His name is Yan Kuan-hen, and he is representing the KMT party, the Kuomintang party, like the old Chinese party that came after the Second World War to Taiwan. And Mr. Yan Kuan-hen, he is a member of the Yan family. It's also an old family which is related to many temples in Taichung, in the city in central Taiwan. Many of the members of that family have criminal background and are KMT affiliated. His father, Yan Qingbiao, also used to serve some time in jail, like in the 90s and early 2000s. And this time it's Mr. Yan's son's turn. So they have a criminal background. They're also in Mandarin. They're called 地方势力, or how they sometimes call themselves 土地的主人, owners of the land. But not just the land that belongs to them, but all the land in Taichung. All the land in Taichung. It's an old family, and it is Mata affiliated and also affiliated with many local temples. Also having a very pro-China stance. He had many policies as an MP. Right now, he's also is an MP. Basically, to make the metro system in Taichung go directly to his home. And he also unlawfully got a big piece of land where he built his mansion. And the particular case that he is being charged for is also related to document forgery. He is 46-year-old, and he will be facing a prison term of 7 years and 10 months. Plus, there is also additional charge for forgery, which is 6 months. And he will be how do I translate it into English? Well, he will not be able to occupy any official positions for more than 3 years. For more than 3 years. Also, his business partner, called Lin Jingfu, who has been falsely claimed as being his office assistant, even though he was not his office assistant. He will also be facing prison time and a fine. So why is this important? Why are these people finally being charged, and why do they have to face prison time? Well, basically because of the corruption scandals and document forgery and these other things that people in the KMT party are involved, oftentimes. And this is why right now many Taiwanese partners abroad are having problems with the KMT party, because there have been scandals, including when the secret information from Taiwanese uh, counterparts and Taiwanese contractors from abroad, when the secret information was leaked out. There was also the cooperation between Czechia and Taiwan, and that secret cooperation that involved the support of Ukraine. And the details of this cooperation were leaked by one of the KMT members of the parliament. So there right now is an open investigation on another KMT member of parliament called Ma Wenjun for leaking out the information on Taiwanese submarines that Taiwan is building by itself right now. So, and right now there are more and more scandals involving people from the KMT party, and more and more corruption scandals that are actually being discussed right now widely in Taiwan. So, what does it mean that, first of all, Yang Kuanhen, this person, he will not be able to occupy a seat of a member of parliament anymore? Of course, he will try to challenge the case, and he will try his best not to go into prison. But once everything is confirmed, because per all of the information that's available in the media, um, there is evidence, and the evidence is solid that he has committed those crimes. So he'll have to serve time like his father in prison. And this is good because, first of all, this shows that Taiwan has legal system that doesn't stand on the side of the KMT all the time, like it used to be in the 80s and in the 70s and during the White Terror time. It also shows that there is a true separation of powers in Taiwan, and even those so-called powerful families in Taiwan are not as powerful as everyone thinks they are. What there is another thing. The electoral district Mr. Yan is representing is the second district of the city of Taichung. There will have to be another. They have to hold another election, like they did, like they did a couple of years ago um, when a member of an opposition to KMT party, a member of the Taiwan State Building Party, was recalled. There was a recall election, and then a member of the DPP party, a DPP member, Lin Jingyi, who is a doctor, got elected. And right now there was re-election in 2024, like in this January. And members of the Yan family got into that seat in the parliament once again. And during the whole campaign, I was in Taichung at the time. I was doing live streams and I was filming the event, like one of those events by the DPP party. How are they actually going door to door, talking to the people living there, asking them if they need something, if they need any help, and what are they looking for? Okay, so that's a good thing. And at that time, I noticed how many banners of Mr. Yan Kuanhen are there. The whole city of Taichung, it seems like it belongs to the family of Yans, and there were posters of Mr. Yan Kuanhen hugging the mayor of Taichung, Lu Xiuyan. And those posters, there were like, once you enter Taichung and up until you leave Taichung, you saw those everywhere. And the whole live stream, it was interesting because Lin Jingyi, Miss Lin, she was going door to door, talking to people, asking them to vote for her, of course. And then she was in the shadow of that large poster of Taichung's mayor, who is also from the KMT party, hugging Mr. Yang Kuanchen, hugging this guy, who has a nickname of being a sunny uncle, Uncle Sunshine. Hugging this Uncle Sunshine. Yeah. And basically, when you leave home, when you go back home, all you see is Uncle Sunshine all day, every day. Plus, they have been involved during that campaign. Like people from Yan's campaign have been calling everyone living there, and I've heard that they have been also applying pressure to local businesses, persuading them to vote for Yan. Plus, as there are temples, the Taiwanese temples under the family of Yan, pressure has also been applied there. People were basically forced to vote for Yan family, otherwise they would have had problems. And this is Taiwan's politics. The old KMT spirit and the old corrupt KMT politicians are still occupying very high positions. And at that time, when KMT just came to Taiwan, some of those families are very old. They were in Taiwan during the Japanese rule. They were there before the Japanese rule, and they are there. They were there during the KMT's rule, and they are here in the democratic Taiwan. And the situation on the ground in the cities where those families are, like in Zhanghua, most of the, which is very interesting, it's either eastern Taiwan or it's central Taiwan. Like Zhanghua is also in central Taiwan, or Taichung. I think I can actually make a whole video talking about those powerful families, mafia affiliated, criminal affiliated families in Taiwan. And there are also like many stories of those powerful families actually killing their opponents um, and then putting them into concrete blocks that are put on the beaches in Taichung. Yeah, but that's a long story. Long story short, Mr. Yan found out that there is enough evidence of him being a very corrupt politician, and that family probably would be the biggest blow on them, since the last time where one of his father, Yan's father, got into jail, also for a corruption scandal. Okay. But what is interesting, when the KMT party came to Taiwan, they started cooperating with those old powerful families, started buying them, they started giving them political leverage and allowing them to join the KMT party. So this is how we see the current situation in Taiwan. Okay, this is Mr. Yan from the KMT party, a very pro-China politician and a very corrupt one, and a member of an old semi-criminal family of Yans, a very powerful family. And there is another case. Okay, I will just take this down and we'll show you another case, which is the mayor of Hsinchu city. Mayor of Hsinchu is a very interesting place. Is a very interesting place. Why is it a very interesting place? Because this is where Taiwan's semiconductor industry is concentrated. It's the place where Taiwan's semiconductor industry is concentrated, and she was supposed to represent a new force, which is also not the DPP nor the KMT. It's the Taiwan's People's Party. She used to work at Foxconn, like also in the technology industry, and the whole image of Ms. Gao Hong'an used to be like very pro tech person who understands the needs of the high tech industry, and which would be the best candidate to occupy the position of mayor of town of Hsinchu, which is actually the center of Taiwanese semiconductor and other industries. And right now, let me just show you the picture. And yeah, and right now she's facing another. She's facing prison time, 7 years and 4 months, also for corruption. And let's take a look. What is she? What is she guilty of? Okay, so basically, it was the embezzlement of state funds, amounting to over 460,000 NT dollars when she was a legislator, even before she became mayor. And she'll have to serve 7 years and 4 months. 7 years and 4 months in prison for that. So how? What did the whole thing look like? Okay, so she took the money from the government and put those money in her pocket, basically. But if you look at the accounting system of Taiwan's legislature at that time, this money was supposed to be her assistant's salary and assistant's fees. But she used it for different occasions, like for example, going to a hairdresser's. So, and that's a lot. That's not a huge amount of money, but basically it shows that it was a corruption scandal because that money was supposed to be her assistant salary or assistant fees, but it was not, and she used it for her own needs. And in Taiwan, for corruption, there is a very um, and in Taiwan, they have very harsh punishments and they have very harsh fines for corruption scandals like that. And what will be happening later on? Right now, the deputy mayor, Chiu Tengyuan, will be taking over her duties, and they're members of the same party. But later on, like because right now she still can challenge the case, and of course she's suspended of her duties. However, if the sentence is overturned, she will be reinstated. But if the conviction is upheld, the suspension will remain, and she will not be able to become the president. She will basically serve her time in prison. And the final verdict would lead to her removal from the office, and probably the new election would be conducted. But as her term is less than 2 years, it's less than 2 years. Like the cabinet will have to appoint a new mayor. So this is how it works. So, and this is the city of Hsinchu, like the center of technology in Taiwan, the center of technology in Taiwan. So, what does it show us? That those pro-China forces are inherently corrupt, and it doesn't matter if the party is KMT party or if it's a TPP party. Those pro-China officials, people who go to China like on every occasion, and involved in very interesting scandals within Taiwan, and in the things like filibustering, like not allowing some of the national security bills to be passed, or actually writing a lot of bills that will be passed and that are beneficial for China, and overloading the Taiwan's legislature with work. Like this kind of thing, it's very dangerous for Taiwan. And China is investing a lot in buying those politicians. And this is the biggest concern amongst the partners of Taiwan and allies of Taiwan. Because whenever you are cooperating with this country, whenever you're cooperating with Taiwan, you always have to keep in mind that there might be some problems related to data leakage, to your information being sold to China, and this is the biggest problem. Last time I've been talking about the assets of China within Taiwan's legislature. I've been mentioning one of the people, Huang Guocang, KC Huang, who is a lawyer and who was number one on the list of the TPP party for Taiwan's legislature, and he wrote the bill that was supposed to expand the powers of the legislature and basically make them able to call any person for interrogation. And if they didn't like your answers, you could have been imprisoned for contempt of the Congress in Taiwan. But like the whole system is very different from what is there in the United States. And the High Court made the final decision that KC Huang's act was unconstitutional. Because of course it's unconstitutional. There should be a separation of powers, and you should not make one of the branches of power too powerful. And like this is not how the democratic countries work. Casey Huan is also from the TPP party. And the bill that got passed and got passed urgently, even though there were mass protests. Right now, the majority within the Taiwanese legislature, it's the TPP and the KMT party. The bill was passed, and some of the KMT members like Hong Mengkai were actually demanding some of the Taiwanese companies to provide the information which is secret, and particularly the information on cooperation with the United States, which is not supposed to be given to anyone. Okay, if this information was provided to those pro-China legislators, people like Ma Wenjun, who already was involved into selling the manufacturing secrets of Taiwan's submarines, like leaking those secrets. I should not use the word selling, but probably she got something for that. Not sure. Right now she's under investigation. We still don't have enough evidence. There is evidence that she has been leaking leaking the data, but don't know what did she get for it. Okay. So basically what we're facing right now, the TPP party and the KMT party are trying to expand the powers of the legislature in Taiwan and provide as much information and as much leverage to China, because it is pretty obvious that the Taiwanese people will not be voting for a pro-China person as the president of Taiwan. It's not possible. But through those old families that I've been talking to you, through those mafia circles, through applying pressure like locally, they can force Taiwanese people to vote for the KMT and the TPP candidates as MPs. And if the legislature has such an amount of power, and if the legislature is as powerful, basically any kind of information can be demanded to be provided to them and then to China. And there was the first case when the Taiwanese technology companies were asked to provide such information to the legislature. And this is dangerous for Taiwanese counterparts, for example, in the United States. If there are any manufacturing secrets, those could have been provided and could have been given to China. Otherwise, the people working in those companies could have faced a sentence, 2 year sentence, 2 year prison time. So yeah, thanks God. Thank God Taiwan has true separation of powers. And thank God this law got rejected by the High Court in Taiwan. And thank God right now those corruption scandal investigations are going through, and the people who are pro-China and the people who are corrupt at the same time are facing prison time. This is good. This means that Taiwan has a true democracy. And even though there are some things to worry about, they're not as bad as I thought. So this is good. And these are some good news for Taiwan. Amen. Andrew Eisman. Amen. Yeah. Thank God. Okay. Then there's another thing I wanted to talk to you about, which is China related, is Polish President Duda. When he went to China recently, there has been a discussion on the current migrant issues on the Poland-Belarus border. And because a couple of weeks ago, one of the Polish border patrol soldiers got killed by one of those so-called refugees. I doubt that some of those people of those people are really refugees. He was killed with a knife, and this is terrible. This shouldn't have happened in any country, including Poland. And the pressure has been applied to Xi Jinping to apply pressure on Belarus and on Belarusian President Lukashenko. This is interesting because Lukashenko he relies on China's money, and right now he is earning a lot on transfer of goods from China through Belarus. And how do those goods arrive in Poland? Through Polish-Belarus borders, through Polish-Belarus border. And right now, there's few migrants and fewer refugees than last month, because applying pressure to China worked. And this is a good signal because what did President Duda say? What did President Duda say? Basically, we will be blocking. Poland will be blocking trains coming from Belarus, Chinese trains with Chinese goods, if the migrant situation, if the migrant crisis continues. So right now the issue is more or less solved, and this is good. That means that the European countries don't have to be too soft on China. You can apply pressure, and you can demand them to follow with the rules. And this needs to be done. Otherwise, we're seeing the new axis of evil being built, including Russia, including China, including countries like Iran or Belarus. So, yeah, this is good news. And this also means that we should be more united and we shouldn't be afraid of China. So, yeah, stay strong. And remember that freedom is not free. Just wanted to give you a very brief update on what's going on in Taiwan right now. And probably you have seen it on the news in Taiwan. Everyone is talking about those corrupt politicians getting prison time. So yeah, it's just a brief live stream, as I won't be having time to make a video out of it. But if you this is interesting because right now I'm watching my live stream on YouTube and on Twitter at the same time, and there's more people watching it on Twitter. And I do encourage you to watch it on YouTube instead because I need my channel to be monetized. I need my English channel to be monetized. So, and I hope that I gave you some perspective, and right now you know what's going on with those people all over the newspapers in Taiwan. One is the Uncle Sunshine, and the other one is Miss Gao Hong'an, mayor of Hsinchu, which is the center of Taiwan's technology. Alrighty, so it was a pleasure talking to you guys. I have to work on something else right now, and I hope that I've given you a perspective on what's going on in Taiwan. Okay, thank you. So yeah, let's stay in touch, and I will be finishing my live stream here. Talk to you later. There probably would be another video this week on this channel. Alrighty. Which one do I have?